Hey, it's the Empire, Boxing Empire, Boxing Boxing. Now, man, former IBF superstar Kell Brook is likely to get this fight with Errol Spence Jr. How do I know? Because Talk Sports basically said that Terrance Crawford is looking at two opponents right now, Manny Pacquiao or Kell Brook, and this is a really big deal because we all know that even when Bob Arum had top rank contracts under Manny Pacquiao and Terrance Crawford never got the fight. And now that Manny Pacquiao is with Heyman, he's really most likely not getting that fight because of boxing politics. Now, when Bob Arum was talking about Manny Pacquiao, he said that fight was going to be outside the States. He said that fight would be easier to make outside the States, and that, if the fight would happen, it would definitely not be in America. But this Kell Brook fight, he wasn't specific in, but he assumes basically that the fight will most likely be out in the United States too, right? He says we're gonna fight in the bubble, and I'm thinking, in the bubble is wherever the fight can be allowed. And in America, extremely big events like a Kell Brook versus Manny Pacquiao, Kell Brook versus Terrance Crawford will most likely sell bigger in the UK than America, just because Kell Brook has so many fans from the UK that would want to travel. Right now, I'm gonna get some quotes for you guys, man. This is my boy, Top Rank, Bob Arum, the CEO, the head honcho, and he says, promoter told IFL TV, Terrance Crawford, we're trying to put together a fight with Manny Pacquiao, which would be out of the United States. Now, if we were able to do that fight, I'd hope to put it together. But if we're not able to get the fight, we'll have to do it in the bubble. We are looking to have the Terrance Crawford fight Kell Brook. So that's from Talk Sports, man. I'll link the title in the description. You guys look it up yourself. But yeah, man, this is a really big deal. And Kell Brook, I really think he's been mismanaged his whole career. Eddie Hearn could definitely got Kell Brook a lot of big fights early. Even after the loss with Errol Spence, he had a lot of big fights. He could still make it welterweight. Welterweight's a big division. Kell Brook could have fought someone like a Paimon Aji and won. He could have fought someone like a Zab Judah and won. He could have fought someone like a Jesse Vargas and won. But he didn't, and that's, I think after the fact, even after he lost to Errol Spence Jr., he would have still had a chance against those top guys. I think he could have easily walked through them. Like, there's so many big names who used to be good at welterweight who, are on their way down, but they're big names. People know who they are. Kell Brook could definitely still been a relevant name at welterweight. But the fact of the matter is, he went from, fighting Triple G at middleweight to Errol Spence, another champion, to, just fighting obscure guys in the UK. I think at that point in Kell Brook's career, he should have stayed in America, and he should have kept fighting top guys just to stay relevant. And he wouldn't even have to fight anyone elite, just big names in general, right? Like a Josecito Lopez, Soto Karass. You get the point. I can keep going on and on naming big name welterweights that, fought for titles and who people know about in America. But yeah, man, that being said, man, I think a Terrance Crawford versus a Kell Brook fight is the best that Top Rank can do for Terrance Crawford right now. Terrance Crawford, he wanted a big check for the fighters he's fighting, and he got it. But the fact is, Kell Brook isn't exactly the biggest name at welterweight, but people will take it because that's the biggest fight Terrance Crawford can get. We all know that. So we're gonna see how this whole thing plays out, man. I actually give Kell Brook a really good chance in this fight. I seen him training. A lot of people talk about the guy being really big for his weight. I think it's more of eating habits. The guy looked like he enjoys a good steak at night, some wine. He when you start making these M's, it's hard to eat healthy all the time. You want to enjoy your money. And that may be, some people buy shoes, some people buy cars, some people want to eat nice. And I think Kell Brook is one of those guys who want to eat nice. It's not that shocking. Some people get all freaked out about weight control. I'm like, yeah, but the guy's a millionaire. He's been working his whole life. If the guy wants to eat steak, let the guy eat. But yeah, man, I think that Kell Brook, now he knows that a big fight's coming up, I think his weight will definitely be under control. Furthermore, man, people talk about this guy missing weight, being too big for 147, but the guy never missed weight before. So that whole conversation of, he's too big for 147 doesn't make any sense to me, because he never missed weight before. Kell Brook has never missed weight his whole career. So this whole idea he's too big for 147, I don't get it. Just because you can eat food and get big and fight Triple G doesn't mean you're a full-fledged middleweight. We all know all the time there's people like Gervonta Tank Davis who fights at 130 and 135. He'll eat his way up to super welterweight. It's crazy. People do that all the time. So when a person's not fighting and they're not in training camp, of course they're gonna balloon up in weight, because most of the time people aren't in shape all year round. That's a rare talent. That those Floyd Mayweathers and things like that, who people are in shape all year round and they're always fight ready. That's extremely rare in boxing. But yeah, man, I think this Kell Brook versus Terrance Crawford fight will be a big fight. I think it will be in the UK. We're gonna see how this whole thing plays out. Kell Brook seems like he's still himself, personality-wise. He's just been out of the spotlight, and I think that Eddie Hearn did him a really big disservice. After that aerospace loss, he had him fight no one, And I mean, listen, Kell Brook could definitely beat someone like a Paulie Malignaggi is like a punching bag with a good jab. Paulie Malignaggi is not gonna hurt you or anything. There's definitely fights that Kell Brook could have fought that weren't dangerous fights, that he could have been fighting big names. And everyone knows who Paulie Malignaggi is from America to UK. That would have been a big name on his resume. There's no reason why you should have went from Triple G to aerospace to bums. I have to, really talk about that because that really bothered me. But anyway, man, let me know how you guys feel about it, though. Where do you guys think this fight's gonna take place? I'm guessing the UK. Let me know how you guys feel about it, though. Like, comment, subscribe. It's the Empire. GeoBoxing Empire. Peace. GeoBoxing Empire.